Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Edge.
Setting those intentions in the morning of what you're grateful for and what could make the day great
is so powerful.
I feel like you are going to work the hardest and you want it the most.
I've been working since I was like 12.
When I first got started in real estate, I was floundering. And then you start thinking,
I don't know if I'm good.
Sometimes the things that we're asking for and looking for in life, they're not going to be easy.
sometimes you have to play the game inside the game.
You've got to be ready for it. I'm always looking for opportunities to grow. You have to believe that you are capable of earning the opportunity to do more.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Uncommon Edge, and I have my guest, Kati Cooper from HomeSmart. She's the Chief Operating Officer at HomeSmart, and I'm super excited to have you.
I am so excited to be here, Dave.
It seems like we planned this forever ago.
We did. We've been talking about it, and it's here.
Now,
so
here we are.
excited. Yes, on a Friday, right before a weekend. Fantastic.
And here we go. We're going to unpack a lot of stuff, okay? This real estate world has been crazy, okay? And you are right there on the front lines at a major real estate organization. So let's unpack it. Let's
do it.
So take me back to, how did you get into real estate? And are you now starting to look back and reflect like this time of year, so on and so forth? So go ahead and start off with, like, how did you get going in this thing, and how did you kind of lead into where you're at today? And
I love starting there because it's actually a really funny story. So was going to school to do merchandising. I wanted to be a buyer. And I realized pretty quickly that I was going to have to work front end retail for a really long time if I wanted to be successful in doing that. And I didn't have any family in Colorado, came out here to go to school, knew that I didn't want to spend my holidays by myself. So I was reading the newspaper. That dates me, by the way, a lot.
is that thing with it's paper with ink on it and your hands get dirty?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that thing. And was reading the classifieds. Don't even know why. I'll be honest with you. Don't know why. But I saw a little ad. It was this big, tiny, and it just said real estate assistant. That's all it said. So my mom was in real estate at the time out by Lake Tahoe, Reno area. And she always said, Katie, I think you'd be good at it. I, just like most people do, I disregarded my mother. Didn't think that she knew what she was talking about. But read the little ad and called and had an interview. And by far, I was the least qualified person out of all the candidates. And the guy that was interviewing me, great guy, he's still a mentor. We still talk today. But he made it a point to tell me, well, Katie, you're the least qualified candidate here. And I was like, yes.
That's a good way to, that's a great way to get started.
Yeah,
confidence, a little confidence booster.
Yes. But I was eager. I wanted to learn. One of the things about me is that if I don't know the answer, I'm going to find the answer. So one of the things that differentiated me from the other candidates is that after the interview, and this will take me into ninja selling and all the things, but I sent a handwritten note. And I was the only person that sent him a handwritten note after the interview, mailed it to him, and he called me and said, I didn't even have you coming back for a second. I really didn't. But I'm actually going to give you the job because I feel like you are going to work the hardest and you want it the most. So came onto his team as a real estate assistant and learned the business from him. He mentored me through it. He actually was a coach with RE/MAX at the time.
Now, what year was this?
This was back in 2003, 2000.
Okay, so before
2004.
Before 2008. Okay.
It was
okay.
before real
It's
estate got
important.
real
Like,
crazy.
Listen,
Yes.
there's a lot of, you got to understand, early 2000s, yeah, it was a okay market. Nothing great.
Yeah.
And then there was this build up to '08 that people that have been through that, okay, like that's kind of a rite of passage. If you went through that and you're still here,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
There's something to be said about that. Yeah.
So I just want to make sure everyone,
Yeah.
because I crack up when people say, oh, well, today's market feels like '08. Okay, stop.
It's
You're
completely
reading-
different.
Yes.
Yeah. Feels different for sure. So yes, was helping him mentor different agents into the business because that's what he was doing for Remax. And so slowly learned the business, was starting to teach other agents the business. He left to go to Keller Williams to become a team leader and basically said to me, Katie, well, I don't really have a need for you. You've grown into this position. What do you want to do next in your career? And I had no idea, but I had really found success and really had a passion for helping agents just grow their business and really understand the back end operational side and really how to make it through transactions. And so I opened my own transaction management company. So did that for several years and kind of gained a following and had some great clientele through that. And got recruited then to a small luxury boutique firm in Denver, Colorado. They were looking to bring all of their transaction management in-house. They wanted that to be something that they could offer to their agents. At the time, that was kind of unforeseen.
Right.
They didn't have companies that were doing that.
Right.
And so I came on, led that department through some growth in that company. Again, it was a luxury brokerage and was purchased by the gentleman who now owns all of the Sotheby's International Realty franchises within Colorado.
Wow.
Yeah. So grew up through the Sotheby's International Realty brand for a long time, was there over 15 years, and got recruited into HomeSmart shortly thereafter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think? Well, I know this, but being in the luxury side of things, what did that teach you in terms of that next level type service?
Yeah.
Because I was reading something, and this is really funny. Again, we're dating ourselves. But when people say you need to give your clients a white glove service, the problem with saying something like that is some people have never experienced white glove.
That's true.
And so in their minds, they're thinking, okay, I got my white gloves on, now what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
What
so
does that mean?
kind of explain like what that's done for you in terms of having that experience and then shifting into other types of markets and brokerages.
Yeah, fair. So I think it's interesting to use the term luxury because in some ways that could mean, the price point of the property. And that's maybe sometimes where people get focused on is I'm a luxury agent. So if they say that I'm a luxury agent, what does that mean? Does that mean that you represent luxury homes at certain price points? Or does that mean you're a luxury agent because of the service that you provide? I think there is a varying difference between what classifies luxury. So being a part of, a luxury brand early in my career, it really did lay some groundwork for me that I started to understand there is a different level of service and expectation when it comes to different price points of properties and sort of what that consumer is looking for in their experience. And they're savvy, they understand the market, so they want you to go above and beyond. And I really do think that from a service perspective, that is what defines luxury is are you giving that white glove service and are you going above and beyond for your client? And that comes down to communication and consistency and market insights and are you negotiating on their behalf the best of your ability?
So that does not mean guys wear Gucci belts and girls wear red bottom shoes.
Yeah, as much as some of the TV shows will make you feel otherwise.
I know.
No, I don't feel like most people care what kind of car you drive up in the driveway with when you're representing somebody. I think they care about the service and the end result more than they do about that. But
You brought up something interesting. Now this is where we go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, let's
and
do it.
We'll resurface. You brought up those luxury shows. Do you feel that that's somewhat hurting a little bit of the reputation of what realtors are and what we do?
Yeah, I do, actually. I do. I think it has certainly brought some insight into the day-to-day of an agent that maybe some wouldn't have even understood. What do you all go through? All the inspections and walkthroughs and all the things that maybe aren't quite understood.
Right.
So there's that if you're going to put a positive spin on it. But I think there's this negative connotation about real estate based on what they're seeing because it's all glitz and glam and drama and I do feel like there's drama in real estate. There always is in some cases, but I feel for the most part it's doing a disservice more than it's doing anything else.
Because, it's a TV show. I get it.
Yeah.
And
they're in for the entertainment.
They want the entertainment.
Yeah.
Good-looking people. And now we're starting to see, I know I do, because obviously the algorithm knows I'm a man, and some of the outfits and some of the things that you see, it's like, it's very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I'm even starting to see other agents mocking those types of. Now, I get it, the viral stuff and so on and so forth, but, again, whether you're a man or a woman, okay, and it's a husband and wife, and there's this agent that is wearing a super short skirt doing a walkthrough.
Yeah.
It kind of, how's that gonna help a husband and wife?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we're just in
The impacts of the conversation, yeah, for sure. What are the decisions being made? How is that important?
How's the wife gonna feel
Yeah.
if the husband or vice versa, the wife can't make it to a showing and she knows, like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if people are thinking about that or if they're just going for I need the views, I need the likes
Yeah.
and stuff.
Some of it might be that they want to go more viral than they want to be vital. And I think that's
Ooh, that was good.
something to be said about that, and I can't remember where I heard that, but it always stuck with me. Are you going to go viral or are you going to be vital in the conversations and what you do and what is your purpose?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so I know we just went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but let's get back on track. So now you're down here in Arizona. How's that piece?
Yeah, the transition's been great. Moved here in the heat of the summer, which, for anybody who's here in Arizona year-round, you can appreciate how fun that was. But really just settling in and love it and love being able to go into the office every day, be part of the team environment, and it makes a difference for sure. But being in Arizona has been a blessing.
Now, I know when you were somewhat kind of 1 foot over here, 1 foot over there, we had a couple conversations, and I could tell, there's a little anxiety and just oh my God, selling the house and the moving. How does that, when you have that type amount of like stress and the moving around and you're being of service to others at work and, people are nipping at your heels and stuff. What does Katie do to keep herself in check so that you don't get caught up in the riffraff, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's interesting, and this is not a, tap myself on the back, but I deal with stress really well. And I don't know if that's just life circumstances have made me the way that I am, but things don't really stress me out in situations where maybe normally it would stress others. And suffice it to say, I think moving is one of the most stressful things you could do. Moving out of state, moving your kid into a college, apartment, all of it happening at the same time certainly is one of those opportunities where if you were going to be stressed, that was going to be the time. And I just compartmentalize really well. And again, that might just be upbringing and all the things that have happened in my life leading me up to this moment. But I compartmentalize my work, my home life, my time with my son, to the point where I just leave those in the boxes. So if I'm having a bad day at work, I don't let that flow into the time that I have with my family or my son or in my personal world.
Right.
So I'm able to compartmentalize and not stress as much as maybe
What do you think triggered that? Because there's always something like we could go back to when we were 10, 11, 12. There's something like, were you really, did you have a lot going on as a teenager, or is it a little more of like the mom influence or something that?
I think it's a little, it's a little bit of both of those. So I had to grow up really fast, getting real personal here, but parents got a divorce and, I was kind of left on my own in high school. Both parents were not in the same town that I was in. So I grew up really fast, and I think I just learned how to, again, compartmentalize my feelings and just know that I had to do what I had to do to not just survive, but to live and make sure that I had what I needed to make it to the next step. And I've always been this person that's wanted more out of life. And I think that drove me I graduated high school early. I just wanted to. Yeah. I've always just wanted to work. I've been working since I was like 12.
What'd you do when you were 12?
I was waiting tables. My dad owned a restaurant,
Okay.
and I was waiting tables, and then went into
No
retail.
child labor laws. or
Yeah,
anything.
exactly. Don't nobody get me in trouble.
You get served like 2 days from now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, nobody get me in trouble for that. But yeah, just been working a long time, and I always just wanted to work my way up. And
So you kind of had these like life experiences front loaded. Whereas sometimes people go through life and they don't experience like a bump in the road until they're in their mid 20s or or early 30s. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, the sky's falling, where you're kind of like, let's rub some dirt on that and let's
get on
keep
with
going,
it.
okay?
Yeah,
Go to
yeah.
lunch, come back, and let's go.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also a single mom, have been since my son was born. So it's one of those things where you just go into robot mode as a mom, and
Yeah.
just the next day is the next day, and you're just going to do whatever it takes to be successful for your kid, and just to make him proud of you. And I think that's been a driving force for me, is what can I do to make sure he understands that he has everything laid out for him and all the opportunities possible, and that he can be proud of his mom someday.
So what do you think? Well, let me ask you this with mindset. Okay, I get it. Childhood, having to do what you have to do. And,
Yeah.
that kind of just, that's your go-to, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Now that you've gotten older, more mature, what have you done as far as like with mindset now? Like, where are you on the self-development side of like staying on that edge of not being complacent and saying, "Oh, I got this cool job now, and I
Yeah.
live down here. I'm going to take it easy," or are you like, "Okay, what's next?"
Yeah.
Like, how does that spin around in
Yeah,
your
I'm
head?
sure Matt Widows would love to hear this. What's next for Kati
Yeah.
Cooper?
Well, not
Yeah.
not next after, but you
No,
know what I
I
mean.
know,
Like,
yeah.
what are you doing to stay on that cutting edge of bettering yourself so that
Yeah.
you can serve others at a higher level?
Yeah, I'm always looking for opportunities to grow. I don't know if you're familiar with the 5-minute journal. It's, I'm big about gratitudes. And again, I mentioned ninja selling. There's tons of different programs out there, but I've been a ninja selling fan for a really long time. And so the mindset and the gratitude is something that I gravitate towards. And I've really made it a part of my day to day, and it has worked.
How long have you been doing the
Manifestation
5-minute journal?
for a really long time. Years. About 12 years.
Really?
Yeah. Whether it was the 5-minute journal or another version of that, I've been very consistent.
So 2014, I started with a 5-minute journal.
Really? That's amazing.
Let me tell you, crazy on
Yeah.
how that resets the brain
Yeah.
in the morning. And so I know this is all about Katie, but I'm going to share this because she'll understand, and I want you guys to understand. Setting those intentions in the morning of what you're grateful for and what could make the day great, okay, is so powerful. Because when I first got started in real estate, I was floundering, okay? I watched my wife.
Yeah.
I knew about real estate, just not in it. Get going, okay, having some little wins here and there. And then I'm like, I want a higher price point. Now, people watching, you're going to think this is BS, but I'm telling you right now, I can go back and show you my journal entries. I'm like, I'm going to start working with a higher price point. Like, I want to be working with $2 million buyers. So for like 3 months, I am working with $2 million buyers and sellers. I am working.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So one day Kim was like, this is when we were still working out of the house. And I'm like, hey, I got some showings. And Kim and I are very competitive. And the team, we only had like maybe 1 or 2 people. And I'm like, I just kind of like dropped the MLS listings on her desk. And she's like, what? 2.3.
Amazing.
2.6,
Yeah.
3 million. She goes, where'd you get that? I go, right here, 5-minute journal. I've been writing it in my journal for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
She goes, are you kidding me? And she got a little like, I've really never worked with that type of price point. And here you've only been in the business a couple years, okay?
What
So
are
she
you
was
doing?
kind of like,
Yeah.
So she started doing it. Guess what happened? She started working with these multi-million-dollar
Yeah.
buyers and sellers. And it's that The power of the mind. It's amazing to me how people don't take advantage of that piece.
Yeah, manifestation is a wild the psychology around it is amazing. I mean, we can go into a whole other podcast about the mind and psychology, but I believe in it strongly, and I do feel like it has led me to where I'm at today too. Just manifesting what I want for my life and being consistent with it. That consistency and, giving yourself gratitudes and manifesting what you want out of your life.
People don't realize the power of it. And I remember 1996, someone gave me the book, Think and Grow Rich. Mm-hmm. Wasn't ready for any of that. And I remember reading it going, this is BS. Like, there's no way.
Didn't believe in it.
Didn't believe in
Yeah.
it. Wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Then circling back around, I reread it probably like in, I don't know, probably 2008, 2010, I think. I was like, oh, wow.
You're different time of your
Different
life,
person.
different
Yep.
mindset. Yeah.
100%. And I'm like, yep, I believe it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Timing is everything when it comes to that. You've got to be ready for it.
Sometimes you're not ready for it. Other times you are. It just depends. And let's talk about this. Are you a big book reader? Or
I am.
Do
Yeah.
you listen or read?
Both. Prefer to read.
Yeah.
I have to see it.
Yeah, I don't do well. When people say, oh, yeah, I listened to that book.
Yeah.
What were you doing while you were listening?
Right.
Well, I was cleaning and I was
Driving
listening.
and yeah.
I'm like, I'm the type where it's like book,
Yes.
underline,
Yeah.
circle. Like I can't.
Reference back to
I'm
it.
the type I can't give someone a book that I read because
Yeah.
they'd be like, dude, you are psycho. Like,
yeah, you
what-
went in on it.
Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Highlighting, underlining, circling, making
Yeah.
side notes.
Yeah. No, I'm certainly a book reader for sure.
What's one of the latest books that you've been like, wow, this really hit me?
So sorry, can I cuss on this?
Absolutely.
The book's called You're a Badass by Jen Sincero.
That's not cussing.
Okay, badass.
I thought you were going to drop an F-bomb. I'm like, you go,
this
girl.
is where it's going. Yeah, no, You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. Yeah, it's really self-guide, self-help, and I think one of the biggest things that stood out for me in that book was talking about you have to, sort of on the same talk track, you have to believe that you are capable of earning the opportunity to do more. So if you're not in a place in your life where you are ready to accept that, and it's that self-sabotage that we all do often, right, is that, and it's not even sometimes conscious, it's subconscious where we're all thinking, I don't know if I deserve this, or am I ready for it? Am I in a place in my life where I trust it enough to let it cause maybe some pain or discomfort? Because sometimes those goals, they're not going to be easy. Sometimes the things that we're asking for and looking for in life, they're not going to be easy. You're going to have to go through some rough times to get there.
Absolutely.
So that self-sabotage, that book kind of walked me through, and it was eye-opening to me because it walks you through, and by the way, it's really funny too. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in reading that book because she's just really witty. But she really just talks about ways in which you've got to set your mind straight first before you're even willing or able to accept true success and real self-guided help.
When we drag stuff, again, that I'm not a psychologist, but I know that 6th, 7th, 8th grade stuff that happens during that time you'll drag that into your adulthood. And like if a teacher told you you're not going to amount to anything, or if you have a parent that's just ripping on you all the time, now you're an adult, you're out there in the world, and then you start thinking, I don't know if I'm good enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I deserve this. And you have that little record going. It's repeating in your head all the time. And next thing you know, things aren't working out the way it's supposed to, or you didn't get the promotion, or something happened, or whatever. Yeah, that's typical.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you
You just
imagine?
reinforce the reason why you didn't get it. You weren't ready for
Correct.
it. Yeah. Yeah. It's wild how the brain can work in that way.
What's another book that kind of got you?
Atomic Habits. Yeah, that was the one I read right before that.
What'd you get out of that?
Daily rituals. Again, getting in a standpoint of time management and making sure that you're staying consistent. I think consistency in all the things that we do, whether it's work related, relationship related, life related consistency is where it all lies. And that book really taught me that.
What are some of Katie's non-negotiables before you set foot on the playground of work and life? Like, what is it on your side of the fence that you have to do?
In the mornings,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
work out, have to have my breakfast, have to do my 5-minute journaling, have to have just a moment where I'm talking myself through the day. Those are my non-negotiables every single morning. Has to happen.
And if something gets kinked or whatever, and you don't, how do you feel then the rest of the day?
Yeah, off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels off. It feels like I've certainly missed something in my day.
We had a situation where this was a couple weeks ago. As a matter of fact, it's when we flew in. Our flight got delayed when we came back from Dallas.
Okay.
I don't think we laid our head down on the pillow until like 1 or 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, someone goes, "Hello, are you here? Is someone here?"
Oh my God, this is at your house?
At our house, I don't have people are gonna be like, "Oh, those are life problems." Well, the cleaning crew showed up
Okay.
early. They weren't supposed to, and woke us up out of bed. Now, I have not been awakened like that in years.
Uh-huh.
And let me tell you, my day was a little
Off.
That Friday, it was off.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get the time to spend to do my morning rituals and go work out and do the things
Yeah.
that I typically do. And it was amazing. I told Kim, I said, there's people that do this on a daily basis and want to know why their life is so crazy.
Scrambled. Yeah. You know, when I was traveling for work for the last 2 years, back and forth every other week, there had to be real purpose in how I was spending my time. And that was a challenge. But I had to be purposeful about it. And that was, again, right, wrong, or otherwise, I had to find workarounds to be able to find that time every single morning, even if that was at 3 o'clock in the morning before I got on a 5 a.m. flight to come here. I had to find some sort of time that I could reflect and have me time and have my coffee, have my breakfast, make sure I did some sort of movement, not always a full workout, but some sort of movement that got me going for the day. That was the biggest challenge in the last 2 years.
Now, when you start your day like that, is there anything on the back end as far as like your evening rituals?
Well, it goes back to the 5-minute journal. So there's that evening reflection on all the things that you wanted to have happen in your day. Did it happen? And if it went off track somehow, what did that feel like to you?
Right.
And it just makes you sort of understand that if you're not going through your day with intention, you are going to reflect on that and understand, why didn't it go the way that I wanted it to go? How can I change that for next time? Were there things, and we all know in this business in particular, no day is the same.
No.
You're going to get thrown in a million different directions. And I think I have learned that it's okay. I don't have to get all my check boxes done throughout the day. But as long as I know that the one key thing that I'm looking to do, whether that's, again, personally or in business, that I can say, okay, I've made strides, it'll make me at least feel like I've accomplished something. Because I don't know if you're the same way. By the time I get home, exhausted, spent, both emotionally and physically, I start to think, what did I even do today? What did I accomplish? Because most of it's putting out fires and answering questions.
Especially in your position.
Yeah.
You're in...
I'm a firefighter
Yeah.
all day long, and that's what I do, and I love it. But at the end of the day, I'm like, what did I accomplish? What did I do to move the needle in the business? And that's something that I'm passionate about. I want to make sure that there's real intention with where we're going as an organization, where our staff feels like they can grow in, and all that has to be intentional. And so when I don't feel like I'm moving the needle in the direction that I need to go, it can feel deflating.
Exhausting.
Yeah. So at least I have to know that I've reflected and I've done at least something to move it in the right direction.
What do you do to shake that up? Because again, I kind of go through that same thing where you can have multiple days like that. Yes, the needle's being moved, but it's not the stuff you want here in your heart.
Yeah.
It's almost like a break even.
Yeah.
Like to some other people, oh my God, you're amazing. But in your mind, you're going, yeah, I kind of had a break even day. Like I didn't move the needle, but the needle also didn't go the other way, but I took care of business. what do you do? What do you do to shift that so that you can have one of those, like, I'm kicking the door down
Yeah.
and I need to feel good at the end of the day knowing that I moved the needle?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you do?
I would say that there's our meetings that are once a month as a leadership team really gives us an opportunity to share strategy and really get a feel for where each of our departments are headed. And, I've got a oversight over all of that. And so when we come together as a team, it helps me realize that just because maybe I don't think that needle is moving, when there's major things happening and shifts and achievements and even little wins that happen throughout that month, and we're able to come back as a team and they're sharing all the amazing things that have happened and projects, it gives me an opportunity to actually get real with myself, to say, Kate, I don't care if you don't feel like you've done this, that, or the other. All of the things are moving in the right direction, and show that gratitude towards all the things that we have achieved and all of the success that we're moving in the right direction to achieve. So, yeah.
Sometimes you have to play the game inside the game.
Yeah, yeah. Think outside of myself a little bit to just, it's not just about me moving the needle. It's all playing a game of chess, but it's also as a team. Everybody's got to contribute to that team together.
100%.
So, yeah.
So, with wrapping up the year and looking, doing it's nipping. I can't believe that we're almost through the middle of December.
It is wild.
Because what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. It's just
done.
going to go boom.
Yeah,
okay?
it'll be New Year's.
So what's one thing, if you can share, that's super exciting to you that you can't wait for 2026?
In the business, I will say that we've got an amazing growth strategy ahead of us. I think we've got a lot of people in the right seats. We've got a great leadership team. And I do feel like from a capacity standpoint, we're at a place now where we can take the reins and we can run with it. And so I know you've had other guests on here from HomeSmart, but I do feel like we are...
They were talking bad about you, too.
I know, gosh.
I was like...
Nothing good to say.
We had to cut that part out. No.
I'm coming on as a guest. Yeah, try to save me. No, but I do think we've got an amazing team. And everybody that's on the leadership team, we're all real estate background folks. We get it. We understand the greater picture of just how challenging this business really is and what it takes to be an agent in markets like we're in. And so that's exciting for me to see that we've got such a great team that cares so much about every single agent here at HomeSmart. And, I'm really excited because we're looking at how do we continue to make our agents more productive in everything that we do, right? So I talked about this a little bit at our elite meeting that we just had this week too, but how do we ensure that every single system and tool that we have in place makes our agents' lives easier? And I said in that meeting, and I believe it, and this is why I love HomeSmart as much as I do, is being led by Matt. Every single question that comes out of his mouth is this easier or is it more complicated for agents?
Right.
And if it's not easier, how do we make it easier? And he, knowing that that's from the top of the organization where the mindset is. It's not just let's release products to release products. Let's not release things because it looks good and it's the shiny thing to do, right? It's how do we make sure that it's impactful and that we're doing all we can to help agents, because we know just how hard this business really is.
Yeah, in the last 3 years, let's face it.
Rough. Yeah.
It's been a cage match.
Real rough.
Every day.
Yeah.
Market conditions and just the vibe of the, when people say, oh, what kind of market is it right now? Buyer or seller? It's a creative market.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
This
is
that.
A creative market. Okay?
Yeah.
Anything can go. And I think agents too they're worn down, and this new year, new me thing is coming around.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, hey guys and gals, take the last 90 days. Flip that into next year.
Yeah.
Like this is the time right now to really double down, because if we do get a little or a little relief in the rate, whatever, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Not we're back to normal, because right now is the normal.
And what is normal?
There is no norm.
Yeah.
Right now
Yeah.
this is the norm we're in. Okay. It takes sales ability. It takes mastery communication.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is not a, write up an offer and, throw it against the wall to see if it sticks.
Yeah.
Because right now, what was that? Someone said 43% of deals that go under contract end up backing
Canceling.
out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And that's all part of the emotional battlefield of what's going on in our market. And agents need to realize that.
Yeah.
Like at the first of the year, that's not going away.
No, it doesn't magically disappear.
No. And so the volatility of the stock market and just the vibe of everything has everyone so off kilter. And really all that matters is, do you have someone in front of you that is willing and able to purchase or sell?
Yeah.
That's all you got to worry about.
And if you don't, what do you do? So what are you telling your agents right now as they go into the end of the year? I'm sure it's a all gas, no brake situation in this team. But what are you telling your agents to focus on as you go through the holidays? Curious.
The all gas, no brakes was a theme that we had last month.
Okay, I love that.
And our December theme is burn the boats.
Ooh, tell me more.
Well, burning the boats means you have no backup plan. And so this is an all-in mentality right now. Like there's no, if this doesn't work, I can always go back to my old job. Or,
Yeah.
I was just trying this and it really didn't work, so I can always fall back on this. I think right now we're at a point to where there's been so much chaos, so much outside confusion, social media, the market, just all the stuff with Zillow and the NAR lawsuit, so much that the average Joe can't handle that. You have to clear out all the riffraff.
Yep.
And this is the year that it's you against you.
Yeah.
Because the only thing, everyone's wanting the market to change in 2026. What really needs to change is you.
Yeah.
That's the only change that needs to happen in 2026.
Yeah.
And I think
love
once
that.
people start to realize that working on themselves harder than they do in real estate will serve them well this upcoming year. What do you mean? Well, the stuff that you're lazy about, you're stacking your wins in the morning, taking care of yourself, working out, being a good person.
Yeah.
Like that stuff will serve you well in this type of environment. And people always say, Dave, you're so full of it. I go, do you want to bet?
Yeah,
I
do
bet
the
you.
work.
Do you want to? What kind of bet do you want to do? 10,000,
Yeah.
100,000? Well, you
Change
see,
there, too.
I got this.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're already having excuses. So see, I think it's one of those years where you have to go all in on you.
Yeah. I was listening to a Tom Ferry podcast, funny enough, and he mentioned that if you are comfortable pushing your activities out, are you just as comfortable pushing your income out? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. You can take a break and enjoy the holidays, but if you haven't done the work to allow you to sort of set it and forget it, but you're still working your business, if you're just letting go of all of the work that you've done for the rest of the year, that means you're comfortable with that income not hitting your productivity until February or March. So if you're comfortable with that, then fine. But if you haven't done the work, are you comfortable with not receiving that income? And I thought that was well said.
Because they're all putting Christmas on a credit card
That's
this year.
right, yeah.
And that bill's going to hit the middle of January. And if you don't have any closings in January and you're starting to build your pipeline, you're not going to get paid till February or March. So
Yeah.
now, it starts now. If I could cancel Christmas, I'd do it. But people would get mad at me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You've just lost every
I'm
follower
kidding.
here.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't do it. So when I was here, I joined you guys for one of your sales meetings, which was fantastic to be here. I really got to see really the insights to how you lead your team. And one of the things I thought that was really cool was you go through and you're holding each of the team members accountable for what are you doing? What's your production? And I love that because we've been in the business long enough where there's these boards that all the deals get put on the boards.
Yep.
And I remember back in the day, I would get complaints from agents. about the boards. My name's not on that board. And I think it's actually causing me to not want to come into the office. I don't want to walk past that board. Okay. Then get a deal. Yes. Get a deal on the board. Right. So don't come in the office. Go out, do the deals, do the activities that'll get you the deals, and stop complaining that your name's not up there. What are you going to do? Are you doing the work? Because if you do the work, you do the activities.
Yep.
That deal will come on that board at some point in time. But I just thought I loved it. I loved the fact that not just, visually somewhere in the office, but every single meeting you're holding them accountable, because there has to be that level of, are you doing the work? Because you can't just shy away in the corner. There has to be things that are happening. That's
the one thing. If everyone could be 100% accountable to themselves, we wouldn't need teams. We wouldn't need structure. We wouldn't need anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And I find, and it's kind of funny because your comment about take my name off the board, we've had people not show up to a meeting because they want to skip over that part.
Yeah.
But what's neat though is after a while, they start to embrace it. And then next thing you know, they have a couple people in their pipeline. And then all of a sudden the first deal under escrow and everyone cheers them on. And see, that's where the team piece comes into play, because we've all been there.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
There's one guy on our team that got started and he's like, I'm in day 94. Like he's literally tracking it. And he has built a unbelievable pipeline. And he knew, because he's a little older, he knew that the building of the pipeline piece would be the hardest part. But now that he's 4 months in now he's starting to reap the benefits of loading that pipeline. And see, that's the problem in real estate is that people, they take that first couple months, that 2 or 3 months, and, let me see how this goes. Yeah. And I need to know how to do the contract stuff. Yeah. You don't need to worry about any of that because we have people to help you. Yeah. You need to know how to sell.
Yes, you got to go find the business.
That's the biggest one. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so what is your one thing that you're fixated on for 2026?
Good question. I think personally it's to get out of my comfort zone. So I am a creature of habit, and I find, especially coming to a new city, getting out and exploring and doing things that I normally wouldn't do. That is something that I'm going to urge myself in 2026 is get out of my comfort zone, get a little, again, a little uncomfortable, and maybe things will be a little bit more fun or more adventurous or just get out and about a little bit more.
What about on the business side?
On the business side, again, I think it's focusing on action. We have been brainstorming and talking about a lot of things. And so my one word I would say and my one goal is that anything that we talk about and we're brainstorming about, put it into action. And if it can't be actionable in 2026, then it probably should come off the list. Let's stop talking about it because we can only do so much, right? We've got a lot of strategy and a lot of fun things coming down the pipeline, but the biggest thing for me is, can we deliver?
Execution.
Execution. We talk a lot about that, and I want to make sure that we stay on path, and can we deliver and execute on the things that we know are going to make a difference for our agents. And we've had several conversations about what that looks like for you and your team, and how can we better support that. And for us, it's execution and making sure that all the things that we're saying, yes, this is great ideas, are we doing it? We've got to put our money where our mouth is.
It's time to burn the boats.
Yeah, that's right. Burn the boats.
Burn the boats.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
today.
absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Maybe we'll do another one later, halfway through the year.
Let's do it.
And be like,
check in.
Do you remember all that stuff we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, you're doing it. So.
Yeah, accountability. You will be my accountability coach for 2026.
Let's go. I get up at 3:30. I'll wake you up.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, again, this was Kati Cooper from HomeSmart, our Chief Operating Officer. If you enjoyed this podcast, I want you to hit that like button, also subscribe, and I want to hear your comments below on what your big goal is for 2026. And as always, let's make it a great day.